This episode is on death versus afterlife. I will go ahead and present prompts, and agreeers will go forth and give us their point of view as well as disagreeers. Then we'll discuss that point for a few minutes before resetting for the next prompt. And our first prompt is: consciousness ends when the brain dies. Consciousness ends when the brain dies. If you agree, flip your tag. I guess everyone is an agreeer. Yeah, we can start with you.
Well, as a self-proclaimed world's leading scholar on consciousness, or more accurately, consciousing, it's a process. It's a neurological process. It's the same way that you can't walk when you're dead. You can't conscience when you're dead.
Okay.
Interesting. Well, I think consciousness is an emergent property where if you combine a brain and a body, complex systems together, consciousness emerges. It's like the interface, to deal with those two aspects of yourself. So I think if one dies or if one is severely damaged, then there's just no way that emergent property can continue. So I don't think anything conscious remains after you die.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then that goes that you are not believers of the afterlife.
Yeah, I'd have to personally agree with that.
Okay, I mean, I want there to be an afterlife. I would love very much for there to be an afterlife, for something to continue. And I guess in the strictest sense, your body will reconstitute itself into some other kind of organism after you die. So you'll become a tree or whatever it is that eats you. You'll feed the worms, all of that. And so you get to live on in very many different states. But as far as you have one chance. You have one shot. Use it.
Okay, so that means that consciousness is only assigned to one person, one entity. So if I die and like my body becomes manure for a tree, that tree does not carry my consciousness.
Interesting.
It's like running a program. So, or take a computer. You take a motherboard out of this computer and you put it in another computer. You take a keyboard from this computer and you put it in another computer. Can you really say that the other computer is running the same kind of program? I mean, it's different parts. So when you join the tree, you're doing tree things. And so is part of the tree consciousing? Does it conscious? Yeah. Does the tree do that? You become that thing. So you change, your state changes. So your constituent parts, they run a very specific program that is you. But if the same way, if you take out your liver and you put it in somebody else's body, it becomes their body. It's no longer you. So
okay. I have a few things as a follow-up to that. So the first thing that comes to mind is there's this analogy by some philosopher, I can't remember, where he asks, if you build a ship and you commission it, and then over the lifespan of that ship, you replace every single piece, everything, nut, bolt, everything of that ship, even the crew. Is it still the same ship that was commissioned?
Oh, I think I've heard of that, like the ship of Theseus.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
My response is you are only what you do. You are not what you are or you proclaim yourself to be. So if that ship continues to function as the previous ship, it's a new ship of Theseus.
So then that means if someone serves the same purpose as you, they are essentially you and have your consciousness.
Absolutely. If you clone me, and that thing does me 100%, it's the new me.
Yeah.
It's just we have not got the technology to that point yet.
Yeah.
And in fact, this is such a nebulous or difficult question, because even you don't do you consistently. You change how you do you with time. And I mean, you're supposed to change. You're not supposed to stay the same. So you grow and you change. So, we are all in a constant state of change. That's the only thing that is true about life.
Yeah.
And so if you can program something to do me as well as the way that I do me, I mean, that's great, but eventually even that will deviate and it'll start to, there'll be two me's now. And eventually those two me's will start doing things a little differently because the other parts are different, you know.
Yeah.
If you wake up in Kayole, I wake up in Madare, and you're going to do the best version of me that you can. But there's no even guarantee that if I by myself woke up in those two different locations that I would act the same.
Yeah.
So we are trying very much to pinpoint a single version of ourselves or of anything, but I guarantee you it's just not possible.
Yeah.
What is only possible is a set of actions that you do, and you're hoping that they match. You're hoping that you who you are today matches who you are tomorrow, which I think is not very... It's not practical in one sense, because circumstances change. The only thing that can really be defined after that, after your actions, is the goal. So if I and somebody else share a goal, then be like, yeah. So the ship of Theseus' goal was to sail from Thebes to Athens or wherever it is it's sailing. If it does that consistently, then it continues to be that ship. If it deviates and start doing other things, then it's not that same ship. But the paths don't matter so much.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if I can follow up on that, it makes me think. So, firstly, let's say, so consciousness is defined by purpose, what you do. And so, if something happened to me, for example, and then I was unconscious and then woke up, and then I don't remember anything, and then I was fed this story of what used to be my life and what I'm supposed to do now. So that means essentially I wake up believing I'm a different person than I was. Has consciousness changed considering that my life has been redefined?
It's a great question.
Is it still the same consciousness, or
It's a great Here I plug.
Yeah.
It's the same thing I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
Now that parts of the ship were replaced,
Yeah.
what if someone else took the parts that were being taken out and being
And
put new?
perfect.
And put together another ship with
Yeah.
the old parts?
With the old parts.
Yeah.
Yes. So great. Here I plug. Here I plug. Mystery Monkeys by George Gathiani.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping I'll help everyone in the whole world redefine this problem, as it's not consciousness, a state, it's consciousing, an act. It's a series of things that you do.
Okay.
So in that ship of Theseus example, you build a new ship from the old parts. It is what now you do with that. So it's shipping. You know, that ship is shipping.
I
It's
see.
shipping of Theseusing.
Yeah.
So if it continues to do the two shipping of Theseusing things,
Yeah.
then you have now two ships of Theseus
Yeah.
that will continue to ship.
Yeah.
And in that example for you, you wake up and you're fed new information. You're consciousing. So you're acting according to information provided to you
Yeah.
in order to have goals
Yeah.
and have purpose.
Yeah.
So if you do the things that you were previously, you know, the two versions of you. There's one who was not mind wiped, and there's one who's mind wiped.
Yeah.
If those two parts,
Okay.
I'm just raising something here.
so if the part of you that was mind wiped and the part of you that was not mind wiped, if they continue to serve the same goals, if they decide to serve the same goals, then they are the same person. If they
Yeah.
deviate and start serving different goals, they're a different person. Because once more, you're defined by your actions.
Yeah.
That's really who you are.
Yeah.
And your memories of yourself are largely there as a shortcut. I would consider even the idea of self as a compromise, so that the mind can have a good map. Consciousing is modeling.
Yeah.
It's modeling information to be able to predict success. And one of the things that you do when you're predicting success is you need to know what vessel you have. So you need to understand your vehicle.
It's like an interface.
Yes, like an interface,
Yeah.
yeah. So you need to understand the vehicle that it's running. And so what you do is largely who you are.
Yeah.
The things you write about yourself, that's just a story that you're using really to navigate a complex world. And so you can be honestly, and you will be many different things. And it's so confusing, especially for young people, because they can do many different things and they all think that the things that they have to be one thing or another thing, or else they're not being themselves. But yourself is just what you do. So if someone says be yourself, they're basically just saying, go do the version of you that you think is appropriate for that period in time.
Okay.
So then this is the works, and I'm coming with a spanner. So I want to know your thoughts on reincarnation.
Yeah. I have some thoughts actually on that.
Yeah.
But just on what you just said. So then that means if you are, if consciousness is what you do. So basically, do you think that, like in that example I gave where my memory is wiped, so that means consciousness is sort of programmable? Or do you think who I was, the consciousness that I was before that, will endure and will overwrite the new information or programming, so to speak?
Okay, great question.
Yeah.
It is unfortunate we have a body with limitations. And that often means that there's going to be what we can call regression to the mean, or you'll go back to doing what you averagely do because your body averagely requires that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you'll still need to eat. And if you have, for instance, if you're lactose intolerant, just because you're mind wiped does not mean that your stomach now stops being or starts being accommodating to milk and other dairy products. So you will return to some semblance of average or who you were before, basically because your body has not changed. But because the way you process information is different, you will have different opinions about how that works. So if previously you were lactose intolerant, you've been mind wiped, you wake up with a new brain, suddenly you realize, okay, I'm okay with having diarrhea as long as I can eat cheese.
Yeah.
And previously, the previous you would never have been okay with that.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's why the idea of rebirth and people finding themselves and all new ways of opening your mind and trying to shed who you previously were are so important, because the physical might not change, but your attitude towards it changes, which changes your actions. So in that example where you wake up and you're mind wiped, now you have an opportunity to use the same tools that you previously had, but for new purposes. And it is why it is very important to constantly meditate, renew, and to let go of previous ideas of yourself, because it gives you greater probabilities. It enables you to think in ways previously that you could not.
I mean, Olive, I think I'm taking over as the host here.
It's okay, because
Yeah.
you're giving me pointers.
Yeah. Maybe let you ask, but I do
Yeah.
have a follow-up on that.
No, I've forgotten what I wanted to ask. But
I have that effect on people.
Hey,
Yeah.
Rizla.
I think it was in relation to
that, yeah.
in relation to my yes, I remembered. So, are there no parts of us that are innate, like characteristics that are innate, that might limit me even after the brain wipe? Like, say, before I lost my memory or whatever, I was someone who couldn't steal. I had ethics for I couldn't do anything
Yeah.
at the expense of someone else's life. And then I come back and now I have all these opportunities to exploit people and get ahead. Do you mean that now I can be reprogrammed to be someone who doesn't have the ethics that I had before?
Outside of your physical characteristics, everything else about you is reprogrammable, in my honest opinion.
Dang.
So your physical your physical characteristics are very limiting. So don't take that for granted.
Yeah.
If you start taking different sets of hormones, for instance, right? If you get more injected with a lot of testosterone, a lot of things will happen to your body, and it'll also change who you are. There are many instances, for instance, of bodybuilders who are taking steroids, for instance, and they become very aggressive or hyper emotional, because it changes how they view things. And so minor situations blow up. They start fighting, things like that. Or they cry at weird times. He's crying in the gym and he can't control it. So outside of your body, everything else about you can be changed. And in fact, one, it should. That's That's part of that's why consciousing exists at all, so you
Yeah.
can change, because now it saves you time.
Yeah.
Change is it took generations for any
Yeah.
kind of change to happen.
Yeah.
If you're a thief, because perhaps you have
It's your family heritage.
it's your family heritage. Your grandfather was a thief. You're a thief. You're going to be a thief.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Yeah.
And until maybe and you might be a thief because you have a hormonal imbalance in your body that makes it difficult for you to exist in the normal world. Like for me personally, I'm very disagreeable. I know this about myself as a characteristic, and it has caused me some problems in life. I won't lie to you, but it has also caused me a lot of good things, because by being disagreeable, I'm also able to question the world that I'm in, disagree with it, come up with my own ideas, and write Mystery Monkeys
Yeah.
by George Gathiani. You see, that
Let's
disagreeableness
get a word from our sponsor.
as a word from our sponsor. So it's good. But I can change, and I've learned to be a little less disagreeable.
Yeah.
Because I can conscious, and I'm able to shed some of the ideas that I previously had. Of course, there are things like trauma that happen to you and make you stay fixed in certain aspects of your personality. But the whole idea of consciousing is that now maybe I can be successful without ending up in jail. Because if I didn't write this book, I might actually have, that's another path. Disagreeable people also
Yeah.
end up in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
So it's either you become a CEO, a revolutionary, or most of you just go to jail,
Yeah.
and or you die somewhere in the street, or you get sick. Some unfortunate thing happens to you. So your ability to change is the defining characteristic of a human being. Consciousing is the ability to take in new information and to change how you see the world. It cannot help you change your physiology. However, it can inform you to the point where you even decide to change your physiology. You can get medication if you have certain conditions. You can get hormone replacements. You can take steroids if you want to look bigger and that's important to you. So outside of the physical, everything else about you, mutable, can change. The physical is this flesh skin we have for now. And now we're getting to the point in time when we have to decide, do we want to change the physical too? The people who are having gender reaffirming surgeries, people getting cosmetic surgery.
Cyborgs are coming.
Cyborgs are coming, for sure. People already have chips in their head.
Yeah.
We are changing the physical
Yeah.
because we can understand the informational. And it's
Okay.
all information beyond
Yeah.
the physical, yeah.
Okay, something comes to mind based off of that. There's a movie called Split, and I think there's like a Split universe. So there are follow-up movies to that. So essentially, this guy has multiple personality disorders, like 10 people living in his head, distinct characteristics. Sometimes if he's one persona, this persona does not remember what the other persona did. That's how distinct it is. But it gets to a point, as you're talking about physical limitation, where he believes so much that he is a particular kind of superhuman being with animal-like abilities, like crawling up the wall, the ability to like bend steel, so super strength. But this comes from him believing it in his mind. So in the movie, they decide to agree that if you believe in something that strongly, you rewrite your consciousness and you actually bend reality to manifest that. So do you think if you were in tune with your consciousness to such a degree and believed so strongly that you could become Superman?
It's a tough one.
Would be nice.
It would be nice, wouldn't it? Just wake up tomorrow and I can fly
Yeah.
and have super strength.
Yeah, you decide that gravity will bend to the will of your consciousness.
I think you can push your body to its absolute limits using just your mind, using just information. And there will be limits beyond which it cannot go, but you can push it to its physical limits completely. So you can be the closest to Superman that your physical being will allow you. And we see this, for instance, with placebos. The placebo drug test, where every drug you have to... People get sugar pills and it cures your
Their
cancer
headache
or your
or
headache,
whatever,
crazy things like that, yeah?
Mind over matter.
Mind over matter. So I'm a very big mind over matter person, to the extent that matter can be pushed. So, and people do it all the time, change their lives, have delusional self-belief, and do crazy things. Or especially momentary instances of pure belief you know, that old analogy of a mom finds a child trapped under a car
Yeah.
and lifts it
Yeah.
because she has superhuman strength.
Yeah.
I mean, she breaks her wrist. You know,
Yeah.
she breaks her wrist, she breaks her arms, but she lifts a car because she found a way to engage the body completely.
Yeah.
And so, I'm absolutely, as far as your physical limitations go, you can absolutely
Okay.
change
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Alright. I had a question on awakening, but I will get to it.
Oh, you
I'm
also
sure
tell me about reincarnation.
Or was
I
that
asked
the
about
second prompt?
reincarnation.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
didn't,
We
didn't
didn't-
it feed into?
I don't think we've
No, I don't
addressed
think we
it.
engaged it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It fed into something that you talked about.
Yeah.
Ama, we went back to mind wiping.
Mind wipe. I think in rebirth.
Yeah.
I believe in.
Oh, yeah,
rebirth,
that's where you touched
Maybe
on
that's
it,
yeah.
kidogo, yeah.
Personal rebirth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
Okay.
you can reincarnate yourself as a new version of you.
But never in another person. So you don't believe
In the
your
physical?
child will come back as your
I
granddad.
have it as a prompt. I have some interesting thoughts on that.
Okay.
Okay, let me see. We still have some prompts, so I'm sure it
Yeah.
will come
Yeah.
somewhere. The second prompt here, so let's reset for the second prompt, which is religion invented afterlife to control people.
I mean,
Really?
actually, before we go, I thought you were about to prompt us on reincarnation.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
we want reincarnation. Fine.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, let's
hear
demand.
it.
Slide
So, yeah,
into
well,
it.
You slide into it. Do
Yeah.
you believe in reincarnation?
I mean, reset your.
Do I believe in reincarnation?
Do I believe in reincarnation?
I have to agree with that, actually.
Yeah.
I have to agree with
Surprisingly, yeah.
Surprisingly, I
Yeah.
have to agree. Do you?
Typically, I wouldn't, but there's a thought that comes to mind
What do you
that
think?
makes me think. So I think I watch a lot of stuff because there's this
Stuff.
series called Fringe. I watched when I was in high school. So it's about fringe science, essentially. So crazy scientific theories. So there's this episode where they tackled reincarnation. And so think of it this way. All of us here are born in our bodies and different circumstances, parents and all that. But let's assume consciousness is like is like a software that is installed in you. And so if you're a company selling software, you have like is it called like a key so that it identifies this person has purchased this software. This software is for this computer. So if consciousness is a software like that, that's assigned to us, say, by God, for example. And so there's the George consciousness, there's the Olive consciousness, and there's the Steve consciousness. What if a mistake was to happen in this factory of God where I die, so my consciousness is scheduled for deletion, but then something happens and then it's reincarnated in someone else. And the reason why I start that way is I believe everything in this reality is a probability. So whatever unique identifier of your consciousness is there, and you remember we talked about the sheep. So whatever makes up your consciousness, if those pieces somehow come together again in someone else, then you've been reincarnated, at least based on the discussion we had on the sheep. And so that's the idea they put forth in that series. And as a mathematical probability, it's very, very unlikely to happen, but the chances are not zero.
It's not zero.
Exactly. So that's why I'd say I'd believe in reincarnation in that setting.
Okay. In a practical, so do you think it has already happened?
I mean,
in somewhere?
the thing with probability is that when the numbers are so huge, you think it must have happened. It's like how the universe is so huge, we think there must be life on another planet, but there are no guarantees of that. So I think seeing that we've been like 100 billion people as far as we started counting,
something like that. Yeah,
I mean, it could have happened.
it could have happened.
But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's happened.
So
but
those
it could
100
have.
billion,
Yeah, two might have.
the
Yeah,
two, one or two.
Yeah. You'll find a 5-year-old talking about how they were in World War II, and they give details that no one else knows, and it's like, how could you possibly know this? And you're like 10 years old or something.
Okay.
So that would be my case for reincarnation.
So there's a mathematical non-zero chance,
Exactly,
of reincarnation.
yeah,
happening.
perfectly said. Yeah, yeah,
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
I'm with you. It's so.
yeah,
Just the maths is so much in favor of reincarnation.
yeah.
like in the religious, like Hindu sense of,
Yeah, every
of
lifetime.
every lifetime,
No.
Yeah.
that might be difficult because the maths is like everyone is being reincarnated.
It's like, I know, it's like everyone winning like a jackpot.
Yeah.
Every weekend. It's just not going to happen.
Just not.
Yeah.
I'll take your
Mm-hmm.
I'll take both your points
Uh-huh.
and put them together to make my point for reincarnation being real. So you're saying that what is it called? It could be an anomaly.
Yeah.
Something might happen somewhere on
Yeah.
God's table.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
you are assigned, or this particular whatever traits are assigned to someone else, this
Yeah.
particular conscious. And you also said consciousness, we don't think of it as one thing, it's fragments of. So if we take both of those two things and we put them in genetics, so genetics, like there's formulations with every other generation that's coming. So I'm sure at a particular point in this generation's
Perfect.
coming,
Yeah. Yeah.
that
The-
particular
that-
formula
that-
will,
yeah,
will
come and
repeat.
yes,
Will repeat.
will
Yeah.
repeat,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
will be one fragment from
Yeah.
a consciousness that
Yeah.
existed a while back.
Yeah.
So that I would call
Yeah.
my form of reincarnation.
Yeah. I think that has most likely happened more than even my scenario.
Yeah, I see where
Because people from the same lineage, there are many combinations of genetics, but there are only so many.
Yeah.
And then consciousness might easily repeat in that
Repeat,
scenario.
yeah.
The same pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same sheep. The pieces have been replaced, but then they are reassembled somewhere
Yeah.
down the line.
So it runs the
Yeah.
same program,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Yeah.
The body runs the same program.
Yeah. And especially if consciousness is as a result of, is an emergent property of your brain and body. If the genetics are so similar, it's essentially the same brain and body. So the same consciousness can repeat.
Can will run. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say definitely reincarnation. Your body and mind can be reincarnated, but they won't, and they will act in this. They'll have the same principles, but the outcome might be different because the circumstances,
The environment
the
is
environment
different.
is different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I
And
would have,
also it's
yeah.
put together by other elements that are not, like it's not your entire consciousness, it's just a
Yeah.
part of it
Yeah.
that is then put together with the new parts of another person's consciousness.
Yeah.
So do you think it's possible for a completely identical version of you to exist again in the future?
Like that I don't see.
I-
There
I'm-
will be
yeah.
some tweaks.
I mean, I see it in this sense.
Yeah.
Like deja vu, where you've experienced this moment before to the exactness. And so if that can happen, because my theory on deja vu is you just experience something similar, and so your mind just fills in the blanks and assumes it's the same moment from before. But it could so happen that on a particular day, you woke up at the same time as you did 20 years ago, wore the same clothes, did the same thing, drank your coffee at the same time, things like that. So the same set of events has repeated. So even consciousness, in a long enough time frame and in the vastness of all possibilities, it could happen. It's
Oh, yeah,
unlikely,
now that
but
you
it
speak of
could
deja
happen.
vu, I see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm in the team conscious sing, where conscious sing is a verb.
Yeah.
So
okay.
it's not. So it's
It's almost like a continuous non-repeating.
yeah. It's you can't do it the
Sequence.
same. Can you kick a ball the same way twice?
I mean, no, maybe to 99%
99%
similarity,
of its-
but even the air molecules are different. this time.
Different,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
it's completely. It's not possible to replicate an action
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
In fact, there's no action that has ever been done
Yeah,
twice.
that's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
So your
I
parts
agree
do-
then
yeah.
with you.
I
Yeah.
think the parts will come together again, but the process can never be.
Yeah,
It won't be
because even the
identical.
time isn't the
The
same.
time is different.
Okay.
Everything's different. Yeah.
I see.
Nothing has been done twice on Earth.
You
ever.
brought up deja vu, which brings up a whole other podcast series, but okay.
Yeah,
Higher.
we reset.
We reset for our prompt that was supposed to be religion invented the afterlife to control people. Agree or disagree?
I mean,
This,
control is a strong
Yeah,
word,
control.
but
I say to give us hope. I don't know if control is a word, so I'm
Yeah.
going to disagree. I think it might be better for us than we think.
Okay.
yeah.
And your point of view is?
I mean, I'm going to agree with the caveat, but that control is a strong word, because I think what happens with a system like religion, it must have been a natural solution to whatever problems humanity was facing at that time. But once that was set up, certain people realized there's an opportunity for power and control here. And so they perhaps doubled down on it. And so they take advantage in that sense. So, but now in retrospect, after the fact, then it's a tool for control. Yeah.
So it was not invented for control.
Yeah, exactly.
It was co-opted
Yeah.
later on.
Or it was just part of whatever the invention was.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually believed that it was a tool for control until Baba died. So this was like 2 days ago.
R.I.P. R.I.P. Honestly.
When I came across a video on TikTok, and it's this girl who gives us like Kikuyu tradition education, and she told us how Kikuyu tradition viewed death, and I realized then the afterlife was there even before what we call the white man's religion.
I see.
And what she said was why Kikuyus don't make a big fuss of death is because death is a transition for Kikuyus and not necessarily the end of life. So we are just thinking, so you're just going to that other location. It's like moving to another town or another country.
Yeah.
And so I thought, okay, if that's how Kikuyus tradition for death or belief around death was, even before the white man came, because every time I think of religion, I think of Christianity, Islam, what we have been introduced to right now.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, I guess it wasn't introduced for control. We believed in the afterlife even before. Yeah.
Okay.
Or even then, actually, maybe if we're talking about like the white man's religion, when it started for them, it might have just been an organic thing. But when they brought it to us, it was definitely a control thing. So that's why I guess we feel very strongly about a control thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think like the afterlife, once more, I want there to be an afterlife.
Yeah.
But there's no afterlife. I think we come up with the afterlife, the idea of an afterlife, because it's very unlikely that most of us will succeed in this current life.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, so it's not for control, but it's something, there's nothing, the only thing that can compete with the truth is a lie.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And lies win a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Because the truth is very harsh.
Yeah.
And so when the reason we have the idea of an afterlife is because you don't want to think your life sucked.
Yeah.
And there's nothing. You get nothing for it.
There's nothing after
You just
this.
get
Especially
born.
when faced with injustice.
Injustice, tremendous odds against you.
Yeah.
Sleights of man against man. You know, so you have to think maybe in the next life I win.
Maybe there's a rematch.
There's a rematch, yeah. You want a rematch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that makes sense, because in the afterlife they always say you get the opposite of what you have.
You get something's
true.
happening.
So you suffer in this life because you're a good person. You'll be rewarded with heaven and all that. Yeah.
So I think it's a sweet lie.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I don't think it was invented for control.
Yeah.
I think it was invented just to to keep enough of us in the game to succeed. So it keeps you here. It takes away some of the pain. And the people who won't succeed at all, you know, we tell you it's fine. But, you know, I see, you know, when we live in Nairobi, you know, you see just horrible things, really.
This place is an extreme spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Add it to your CV.
Yeah, I lived in Nairobi. You just see horrible things.
Yeah.
And you want to tell this person it gets better, but it probably does not.
Yeah.
So I just tell you, okay, there's another, you get round 2, as you were saying.
Yeah.
There's a second, there's a rematch in the knee. But no, you pigwa 15-0.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just,
In FIFA we say, wacha niulize swali.
you just.
And
Yeah.
I want to pick. I want to add the third prompt onto that, because it's sort of related. So we can reset for the third prompt, which is: if you believe in the afterlife, then suicide should not be a taboo. Considering our society believes in the afterlife so much, then why do we? The one that's refused. Why do we do that to suicide? Why do we
make it such a taboo?
It's a lie. Okay, because we know it's a lie.
Wait, so
So
could you
if
kindly
believe
repeat?
in the afterlife, suicide should be a taboo. You agree?
Now,
It should not be a taboo.
I don't believe in the afterlife.
I don't
be a
believe in
taboo.
afterlife either.
But
So for
suicide
those who
should be a
believe,
taboo.
Should they also keep the same energy with suicide, where suicide
Yes,
shouldn't be a taboo?
let people
Yeah,
exit
then you
left.
agree.
Please.
So then you agree.
Agree.
Yeah.
That if
I
yes.
disagree.
Or you
Okay.
disagree?
Yeah,
I know you
Should they-
funny.
I think
funny.
you want to like
Yeah.
because we need the people.
Yeah.
We need, unfortunately,
I mean,
for the mill.
See, they're just
The
like
factory needs workers.
they're just what is it called?
I-
You're making it faster. You are making
Yeah.
your transition faster to the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so here's my argument strongly against suicide.
Yeah.
It's this. If truly there's no afterlife, and if you're fed up with this life,
Yeah.
or even in situations where like your medical situation is too much, your body is hurting and there's no hope that you'll get better, it's what they call euthanasia.
I think so. Yeah.
You know, so I can understand why there is a case for that. However, if we had a positive notion on suicidality, then I think 99% of us will just take that option, because life sucks for 99% of us, I'd say.
Yeah.
But then, what is this experiment called humanity? It can't just end that way. We need to hold out hope that we are building towards something, or whatever this life is. I think the best antidote to this life is humanity, and we need to, hold out as long as we can, and just see maybe we are building towards something. Because no one can predict 1,000 years from now.
True.
So that is my only argument for why we shouldn't encourage anything leading to humanity's extinction. Yeah. But it's not a religious point of view
okay.
whatsoever. Yeah.
So it's
It's just a humane.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, think of it this way. It's like, let's say I have 5 kids.
Yeah.
And we are a destitute family. We are poor. There doesn't seem to be much hope for this lineage. But then I think, and so the kids are like, Dad, this life is too tough. Let's just end
try
it.
the next one.
Yeah, but then I'll be like, no, who knows? Maybe one of you might actually be the savior. And so I think for that reason, we should keep that hope there. And so all 5 of them have to survive. Even if most likely you're going to have miserable lives, we need to hold out on that hope.
Okay.
Yeah.
such a comforting lie. Such a comforting lie.
I have
Yeah.
concerns, not even about the lie. I just
Yeah.
have concerns about quality of life.
Yeah.
Which I
Yeah.
believe quality of life should be.
I mean, I think thinking about quality of life comes from a point of privilege, and not
That's
to you
true. Yeah.
specifically, just our generation and this world. Because funny thing is,
Yeah.
this life is super hard,
Yeah.
but this is the easiest it's been in human history.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
True.
So if our ancestors had to, wake up every day, go hunting,
Yeah.
and wouldn't find food for the next 3 days, and they didn't complain about quality of life, I mean, they could have ended it there, But see, there's a case for hope. Here we are.
Okay. I'm not an advocate for suicide, of course.
Yeah.
Please,
no.
if you're not feeling well, please speak to someone.
Yeah.
Find someone to talk to. Talk to ChatGPT if you need to.
No,
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah. It.
Don't.
Talk to someone. Try.
Yeah.
But I will never ever tell anybody
Yeah.
that they can't do
Yeah.
what they need to do.
Yeah.
That's true.
And if you do your mathematics and it's more downs and ups, and
Yeah.
you don't think any ups are coming down the road,
Yeah.
it's on you.
Yeah.
It's your choice.
I mean, there are people in jail innocently, and they'll never get out. They're on death row, and they're still living.
It's their choice too.
Oh,
It's their choice.
Yeah.
I understand cognitive reframing important.
Yeah.
Find a new
Yeah.
way to view your whatever circumstances
Yeah,
you're in.
that's true.
There's unfortunately
Yeah.
always hope.
Yeah.
There is always in a strange.
I like that. Unfortunately, there's
Yeah.
always hope.
Unfortunately,
always hope.
there's always hope.
Yeah.
When I'm telling you, it's your life.
Yeah.
Let nobody tell you what to do with it.
Yeah.
In fact, that's one of the fact that we have been able to get to a point where even an organism can consider suicide is a tremendous growth in human evolution.
Yeah.
We've gotten to the point that we can even do things that are bad for us.
Yeah.
That's how much agency we've got.
Yeah. You know, I'm smiling a bit because when you say an organism considering suicide,
Yeah.
Imagine a cat just
A cat.
on the roofie, and it's like, this life is too much. I haven't caught a mouse in a week.
No, exactly.
I'm useless.
I'm useless. Jerry keeps running away. That's it.
To whom much is
To whom-
given,
Yeah.
much is expected,
Yeah,
right?
so-
So humans have been given
Yeah.
on top of the food chain.
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess a lot is expected.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot is so. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
there's okay. I can see your point where a lot is expected. You expect to stay here,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and power through.
I think
Yeah.
also, can I remember his name? But there's someone who said, well, the ultimate philosophical question is whether you should kill yourself.
Yeah,
And so the reason why I do not encourage it whatsoever in
Yeah.
any shape or form is if you take it to its logical conclusion, then, that becomes the ultimate question of life. And I think a majority of people, once they understand the kind of life they'll have, like think of it this way: if before you're born, you're shown your entire life,
Yeah.
and it's full of misery,
Yeah.
and you're asked, George, seeing this, will you take this life? A lot of people will say no.
Yeah.
yeah,
I like those arguments before we go to the next prompt, but
Yeah.
I also know that people don't consider how much strength you need to actually see it through.
Yeah.
For you to tie that rope, for you
Yeah.
to slit that wrist,
Yeah.
the amount of people think of it as a very easy thing.
Yeah.
But definitely, I think of people who've offed themselves as being very courageous.
Yeah.
It makes me think then, how many of us are alive
yeah.
simply because we don't have the
Just
courage
don't have
to
the-
strength?
you don't have it
Like
in
I would
you.
have done it, but
Yeah.
Which I think there's a term for it. I
Toshin
think I
Bonga.
remember
Ah,
the
okay.
one where you are. It's like you're passive suicidal. If death comes to you, you
won't
fight.
resist.
But you yourself,
Like, it's fine, but you can't do
you
it.
yourself, you can't see it through.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And we can reset for our second last prompt, which is: people don't fear death; they fear being forgotten. I think it's true.
I think I agree.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
George, Anna.
Well, in the follow-up to Mystery Monkeys, called Mystery No More,
Yeah.
I think we discuss 3 elements of success, which is personal survival, which often translates to money, community, or love, which often translates to friendship, and not even family, friendship,
Yeah.
and then legacy. You want something that's going to, you want to be remembered somehow. And I think a lot of people have children, for instance, for that legacy part of it to be remembered. And a lot of, when there's a common joke among soldiers, make sure you have a child before.
Yeah.
And there's this also, it's also well known among many soldiers, they try and
Yeah.
have children everywhere they go.
Yeah.
Because they don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
There's the other side to that joke from the female's perspective.
Which
and
is?
Don't kill me. It's get married so that when he goes to war and he dies,
Yeah.
you're compensated.
You're compensated.
Yeah, that's the other side to that joke.
Feminism.
That used to happen, I think, in either World War I or II, or both actually, where
okay.
before they are sent out to war, the man obviously doesn't want to go die and not have left a child, a son behind. So that's his incentive to get married. But then the woman's incentive was, once this guy dies, which he most likely will, the government compensates me.
At least the death of your partner is not in vain.
Yeah.
Of course, a woman would say that. Of course.
Yeah.
It immediately goes to, it's fine.
Well, I'm grieving.
Are
I'm
you?
grieving allowance.
Yeah.
Wiping away the tears.
Yeah.
All the government money.
Yeah.
Grieving No, yeah, I'm so sad.
Yeah.
So where's the house again? How
And
how long do I
another-
get this pension?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the next soldier I'll marry.
And
Yeah.
and it's rinse and repeat.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
It's okay. It seems to be our purpose here.
Okay. That's all the points we have on that.
I don't know. What do you have to say?
They don't fear death. They fear
I
being
think I've
forgotten.
laughed so much that I've forgotten the
like
prompt.
most people, I would say if you were told right now you'd be immortalized.
Yeah.
Yeah, your death. Yes, you die today, but
Yeah.
also you are now statues everywhere. State and you're written into the history of Kenya. Death stops looking a lot less scary at that point,
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
it?
true.
Yeah,
It's been used as a motivation for soldiers and such people.
yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm just referring to the animation Coco. And Coco is a story of the afterlife. And you see, even in the afterlife, the people who are here still have to keep your pictures up on certain days.
Yeah.
And that is summoning you and keeping you alive in the afterlife.
Yeah.
Of which, if your people don't keep your photo up every other year, it
Yeah.
is believed that even in the afterlife,
Yeah.
you disappear now to a world that we do not know
I see.
about.
I
And you
see.
see a lot of people, you see how
Yeah.
the people in the afterlife are scared and are really hoping that their people put up their pictures.
I see. Interesting.
And so that for me,
Yeah.
and actually the death of Rao again,
Yeah.
Baba gave me so much insight. I looked at it and I thought,
Yeah.
but then, just what you said, imagine if you die and you get a state funeral.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kwani ni kesho?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. People don't fear death as much as they fear
Yeah.
being forgotten. And I think that is the narrative behind men's psyche, even when they are talking about, I want to leave a legacy, and men associate legacy
Yeah.
with children a
Yeah.
lot. It's
Yeah.
like, I need to leave something for myself here.
Yeah.
Or with books like Mystery Monkeys.
Or with books.
Really?
Please,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
please andikeni books badala ya kuzalisha. What is this?
I mean, on that point, actually, I mean,
Yeah.
Baba is probably more alive
Right
than
now.
he has
Right
ever
now
been.
than ever before.
You know, and death seems like such a cruel and pointless thing. But if you die like that and you leave behind such a legacy, you give meaning even to death.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
which is a very human thing.
Yeah.
And then also to your point where you're saying, keeping the memory alive, taking care of like the pictures of those who've passed away.
Yeah.
There's something I saw, a documentary, I think, some Asian tribe living somewhere in like the mountains. So they have a weird way of burying the dead. So essentially what they do, they don't necessarily bury you. I mean, they live in the mountains. There isn't much to dig. But they sort of preserve this dead person and keep them preserved for as long as they can. And like every year on the anniversary of their death, they go to where his body is and they spend the whole day with them. They sit them at the table. They have a meal with them and such things. And so in such a case, you find that community, people aren't so afraid of death because they almost see it as like, I'll be here anyway.
I'll be, yeah.
Yeah.
To
yeah.
even think that you're not even scared of a dead body. 'Cause
Exactly.
You know the us when we
Exactly.
see-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not afraid. And so I think societies that, keep the dead alive even after they're dead, such societies are less afraid of death.
Yeah.
But if you're an atheist and you believe in the finality of death, you get super anxious to do as much as you can with this time that you have. Yeah.
You become a colonial power. That's what happens.
Yeah.
I think those are
Conquest.
The conquest, exactly. It
You
becomes
try to do the most in this one
Yeah.
life.
this, yeah.
That's weird because I think if I'm going to die anyway, I'll do whatever I can.
Yeah.
Inawezekana. I'm not
Yeah.
going to try and
Yeah.
fit everything here.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing those are two different personalities.
Yeah.
We can reset for our last prompt,
Sure.
which is also our EQ point. So if we have most people agreeing with this point, we call it the EQ point of the episode. Funerals are more for the living than they are for the dead. If you agree, flip your tag. I guess that's an EQ point. Why?
Yeah.
Why you say so?
I think once you're dead, you're dead. You have no awareness of what's happening in this life. but people have to, the people who are living, I think funerals are more for the living than the dead. Because once you're dead, you have no awareness. At least that's what I think of what's happening in this life. However, we who are alive are the ones who need to believe that death isn't the end.
Yeah.
So for us, we have to make a big deal of it as much as possible because we know that's where we are headed. It's almost like if you knew you're going to travel down a certain path and there are people going before you, you'd hope that they iron out the path as much as possible so you have it smooth. And so you need to iron out the idea of death as much as possible so that when it inevitably comes, you're not too scared and defeated by it. Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Help you cope.
Yeah.
Oh, it's coping. Yeah.
Yeah. It's cope.
A lot of life is coping.
Yeah.
Really.
You seem to be going through a lot of coping. You've carried that point with so much evidence.
It's a safe space.
Is it?
Yeah.
Even you see, you even try to help me cope by telling me it's a safe space.
Yeah.
I think funerals are for the living because we are rolling the dice that when we die, as you said, somebody else will also take care of us.
Yeah.
So we want to keep that tradition alive,
Yeah.
keep that
Yeah,
culture
that's
alive,
true.
Yeah.
so that when our own time comes,
Yeah.
somebody will honor us and make us feel like our life meant something.
Yeah.
You know, I've realized again with Baba's burial, I have realized how much we hold traditions to heart.
Yeah.
I've been to Luo burials all my
Yeah.
life, but what I've seen now, and this is the closest I've come to what a traditional Luo burial looks like.
Yeah.
And I had never seen all these traditions. And when you look at them, they're really beautiful, actually. And I just thought to myself, I was those people who was just like, by the way, don't waste time. Don't waste time and money. I'm gone.
Yeah.
City
But now
life.
looking at it, maybe it's a way for them. And mine is in the most simplistic way.
Yeah.
For us, we have disco matanga. Like, what would you have disco matanga for someone who's not there to dance?
Yeah.
So I think it's more for the
Yeah.
for the living than
Yeah.
the dead.
Yeah.
The eating,
Yeah.
the feasting.
Yeah.
So it's for the ones
I
who
mean-
remained behind.
The thing with Baba,
Yeah.
I think his passing affected people, even people who thought they disliked him, because there was something formidable about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, if even he can't beat death, there's no hope for the rest of us. Because you're such a great man.
Yeah.
You know, I think when we see a great man, part of us thinks, you know what, he might
He's
be the one
immortal.
with all the solutions,
Oh, yeah.
including death.
Including death.
And then it's like,
Yeah.
man, even he couldn't figure this out.
Even you?
Yeah, there's no hope for the
Yeah.
rest of us.
There's
yeah.
no.
That's true.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P.
That's fair.
R.I.P. Baba.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the end of this episode. But we usually ease it a little with a game of Mashilingi Kichwani, where we have 4 categories.
Okay.
And each is attached to, each question in that category is attached to some money. And if you get that question right, that money is yours.
Okay.
And you can redeem it for any products at Buy Olive, which is my emotional intelligence consultancy.
Okay.
So I will start with Steve.
Yeah.
What category do you want to play for and at how much?
Okay.
We have
Okay,
who
who's
said
Sheng? Definitely not.
I was like, yeah. Nombotoko.
General knowledge, I think.
general knowledge
Yeah.
for how many shillings?
Obviously, go big or go home, 100 bob.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's see. Steve,
Yeah.
for general knowledge, 100 shillings. Who placed the Kenyan flag
Oi,
on Mount
oi, oi,
Kenya
oi,
in
oi.
1963? A.
There are multiple choices.
Yes.
There's no way I get this wrong.
It's not all bad.
Uh-huh.
A. James Kagambi. B. Joshua Cheruyot. C. Kisoi Munyao. D. Kenneth Matiba.
I was expecting a white name.
So did I when I was doing my research.
Could you kindly
go again?
through the options?
Who placed the Kenyan flag on Mount Kenya in 1963?
Okay.
A. James Kagambi. B. Joshua Cheruyot Kirui. C. Kisoi Munyao. D. Kenneth Matiba.
I mean, Matiba is such a well-known name. If he'd
Yeah.
done that, I think we'd definitely
We
know. So I'm going to go for, the name that just seems to go by unnoticed, and that's choice A, the Kagambi guy.
James Kagambi.
Yeah.
That is absolutely incorrect.
Ah,
It's a guy called Kisoi
Kisoi
Munyao.
Munyao.
yeah.
Yeah. So now
Hey.
we know.
Okay, I'll go back for my school fees
Yeah, go-
for history.
But we were
that's-
never taught that. I had to look it
Yeah.
up, and even I thought I'd get Mzungu.
Yeah,
name.
but ngoja, as in watu wa Murima, it has to be Kagambi bana.
Yeah, even there was even a Cheruyot, and it
Yeah,
was not him.
me,
It's not
Cheruiyot
a-
was like, no.
There's no way it's
Yeah,
Cheruiyot.
They run. They don't
They
go
don't,
out.
Yeah, they don't-
they
yeah.
don't climb. That's not their thing.
Yeah.
All right, George.
Okay.
What category and for
So
how much
basically,
money?
to continue the joke,
Yes.
Murima
Yeah.
iliguswa kitambo.
Murima Igusa.
Yes.
Did you get the joke?
Yes.
Ilishaguswa.
Shaguzwa. Nukaguse Murima. Too late.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, George. What category will you play for?
Let's see how cool I am. I'll take pop culture for 100.
Yeah.
There's no way Steve's going to go for 100 and I go for less.
Okay.
No way. No way.
Let's see.
Go big. Go home,
Pop
as he said.
culture for 100 shillings.
Yeah.
George Gathiani.
Yes.
Which Kenyan reality show gave us the phrase, "It's giving baddie," and lots of drama?
Okay.
A.
Uh-huh.
Kyalo culture.
Uh-huh.
B. The Real Housewives of Nairobi.
Uh-huh.
C. Nairich.
Uh-huh.
D. Hello, Mr. Right.
I'm going to go with Nairich.
Nairich.
Yes.
And that is absolutely incorrect.
Yeah.
Can I try help him?
Let's see what you got.
Is it the last one, Mr. Right?
Hello, Mr. Right.
Yeah.
Still incorrect.
Ah, okay.
I thought you'd
It's
go
not
for the
Real
one that's
Housewives.
most famous.
Real Housewives?
Yeah.
What?
It
Real Housewives
was.
gave us
No, because I'm
giving baddie.
thinking
It's giving
Buddy
baddie.
feels like such a recent thing,
Yeah,
so
I
I'm
thought-
trying to look
Yeah.
for the most recent show
Oh,
there.
you were looking for
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Mr. Right has been there for a minute.
It's been there for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I
okay.
guess pop culture, you're not doing so well.
Yeah. No.
But that
Okay.
brings us to the end of our episode today.
What? No second chances?
What?
There's no afterlife, no rematch.
We're still doing it in the next episode, so no worries.
Okay, I'll take it.
Higher.